scoreboards that aren't quite that much.
Exactly.
And, you know, the facilities just keep getting better and better. You know, when you look at the turf fields that have gone in, most everywhere around here, you know, a lot of people talked about the initial expense, but in the long term you save money.
Yeah.
And the big thing is it's actually a safety issue. They're not as hot.
Right.
With all the concern around a concussion and all that, they've got a little bit more give to them than a real turf field would. This isn't the old days where they just paved the parking lot and put a little indoor-outdoor carpet out there.
And that's what it was. It really was at first. And people. I think the biggest thing that they got the turf toe and the like rug burns,
right.
plus the other injuries that would cause by the turf. So this is a lot better. I think people, as they see it over the years, they'll learn to accept it. Like
sure.
Anybody that might be skeptical about it, but it is better. It's safer for the kids. There was a few little, inquiries about that, but
sure.
I think those have been answered. And
right.
Last year was our first year on this field, and we got more compliments from the other teams.
Right.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a beautiful field. One of the things that they've started doing, everybody knows about the rubber they put there to keep from tearing knees up, but they've also added cork.
Yeah.
And that's what helps keep it cooler.
And there's a whole stack of somewhere on the campus of that where they can fill in and add in as the season goes on.
Right. So we're about ready to get underway here as both coaches said this is going to probably resemble more of a regular season game than you see a lot of times.
Right.
In these scrimmage games, you kind of never really know what you're going to get. All the coaches have a little bit different philosophy about how they want to attack it. But at least for the first half, I think we're going to get to see a lot of starters and get a real feel for what these teams are trying to do here in 2019.
Well, Michael McGinnis will be the starting quarterback for Newnan. He was a sophomore starter last year, had a good season, a really great season, and we expect him to be on target again this year as a junior. Really has developed a lot. And I talked to Chip a lot, and I know you knew him before I did, but he's a type person, he tells you everything about, you don't have to ask one question, he'll tell you.
Right.
But he was more excited about how much bigger and stronger, and we've mentioned that, than the teams are already.
Yeah, and looking at 2018 for the Cougars, 6-5 season, 4-1 in region play, 3-3 and 3-2 as far as home and away. Of course, getting knocked off first round of the state playoffs last year, but you know this has been one of those things. Coach Walker came in here with a plan,
right,
and he's progressing right on target with that.
He does it, like I tell him all the time. He won 3 state championships at Sandy Creek. His dad won 1. I said, you've got the formula, we just want to add on to it here. And he laughs, but that's the truth. We just want to follow his lead. Just like Newnan's going to kick off to Whitewater, going from, if you look at your TV screen or your radio, Newnan going from the right to left, Whitewater in all white, Newnan in their dark blue uniforms, dark helmets, white pants. I think you'll hear more the band participation this year, too.
Yep, there's kickoff. He muffed that thing, picked it up, and not going live with the – I don't think they're going live with the kickoffs themselves.
No, they're not, and I think they're going to bring it out to start at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10, Whitewater. And when Whitewater first started as a school, it was an older coach. Now, you may remember his name, but he brought a lot of his former head coaches with him, and they were very good right off the bat. Almost.
Sure. Yeah, they were. Matter of fact, it was just a couple of years ago they had the first losing season over there at Whitewater.
Right.
And they're going to start off on offense this afternoon with Mueller under center. I've seen him a lot in baseball, a heck of a baseball player. Okay. And some feel like he might have a better career at the next level in baseball, but as an athlete, a lot of opportunities possibly on the football field.
And I think he was a starter last year, wasn't he?
I believe so, yes.
He's wearing a vest or a color, so he's like off limits right now, that's a good thing. First play from scrimmage from Whitewater is a run, and they pick up about 3 yards on 1st down.
And I know Coach Holly was really excited about his right guard. We'll talk about him again in a moment.
And pass on the 2nd down. Man's open, picks up at the 28-yard line and all the way out to the 37-yard line. 1st down for Whitewater. That was a well-designed play. And that quarterback, what I remember about him last year, he was very heady,
Right.
He's not going to make mistakes.
Yep. He did a good job of leading him there.
Yep.
Very catchable ball, and that's a big part of it, especially at the high school level. You got a lot of big arms. Not everybody throws a catchable ball.
Right.
Mueller does do that.
That was right to his back out of the backfield. And I think maybe he saw something in the line of scrimmage, changed his play out of the shotgun. And he hands it off to the back. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage, may have leaned forward for a yard. Good defense by the Cougars that time. And we've got a lot of new faces on defense this time. They're going to have to step up, James,
Yeah.
as the season steps up. We play in that 7A region, and every game, every region game is a tough game.
Absolutely. And Maddox Mueller there, 5'10", 190 pounds, a senior. And there are offers on the table for him to play at the next level. So I know they're excited about what he brings to the table heading into 2019.
Second pass is a little bit overthrown, kind of a slant in to his wideout. And he overthrew it, but I think he did it because the coverage was pretty good. Didn't want to have the ball intercepted.
Yeah, linebacker kind of fell back into his passing lane and really put it where the only person who had a shot at it was the wide receiver if he could go up the ladder and get it.
Brings up third down and about 9.5 yards to go. The ball spotted at the Whitewater 37.